Mike Brown is making all the right moves. According to new reports, Mike Brown will be making significant changes to the Knicks' minutes distribution with a focus on the postseason. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And now, let's get started. Knicks' new minutes distribution. Last season, we saw our starters play 35 plus minutes at times during the regular season, while our bench would play limited minutes. But Mike Brown is changing all of that. The regular season is important, but the goal is to be healthy and ready for the postseason. Shout out to NBA Insider with the New York Post, Steph Bondi, for giving us this following information. According to him, to Mike Brown, not all victories are created equal. He learned from his time with the Warriors stint about the importance of pacing his players' minutes for a championship run, about easing up on a night in February because it might help you in May. Brown is now bringing that approach to the Knicks, who operated much differently the last 5 seasons under Tom Thibodeau. Here's what Mike Brown had to say about the Knicks' new minutes distribution. According to him, the biggest thing is trying to make sure you watch everybody's minutes instead of trying to chase games. There might be some games where maybe you throw the towel in early. It's important to win, but you also have to understand, hey, I want to keep these guys' minutes here, this guy's minutes here, this guy's minutes here, instead of trying to extend everybody's minutes. Because if the season is long, we don't want anybody worn out by the end. Minutes distribution predictably became a third-rail topic under Tom Thibodeau, who has long been criticized for playing his starters too much and leaving them on the court in garbage time. According to Brown, throwing in the towel early because it'll preserve energy for later, as Brown explained Tuesday, wasn't an option. You could go back to last season. If you're a fan of this channel, one of the main things many people called me was the minutes police. Now, why did they call me the minutes police? Oh, I know why. It's because I was tracking, very much so, how many minutes each and every single player played. The starters and the bench. And you know what I saw? The minutes, they were not distributed evenly. And because of that, the starters would play 35 plus minutes and the bench, let's see, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, and sometimes it depended on what type of player you were off the bench. If you were a Deuce McBride, you would play 20 plus minutes. If you were a Mitchell Robinson, you would see 17 plus minutes. But maybe if you were a different type of player, you would see 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 7 minutes off the bench. And I'm sorry, if you're playing 7 minutes off the bench for the entire game, I'm not counting that as you played significant time. 7 minutes is not significant. Maybe if you could do something with that time, but even then, you were limited in what you could do with the minutes you were afforded last season under Tom Thibodeau. But under Mike Brown, everything is changing. The starters, they're going to play their minutes. But Mike Brown understands, if we're already winning the game, let's put in the bench. Let's put in the young Knick players. And if we're already losing the game, let's put in the bench. Let's put in the young Knick players. You see the trend here? It's all about understanding where you are. If you're in February and you're clearly winning the game and you don't want to burn out your starters because you know you have a long postseason ahead, you're going to put in your bench. Mike Brown understands this. And the main reason he understands it is because he's been to the NBA Finals a number of times, not only with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but also as an assistant with the Golden State Warriors. And during that time, it taught him the most about minutes distribution. Shout out to Steph Bondi from the New York Post for giving us this following information. As mentioned, Mike Brown was hired by Golden State in 2016. And obviously, Steve Kerr was the coach at the time. And under Kerr, Mike Brown saw a lot of different things, especially when it came to Steve Kerr and how he dealt with Steph Curry and his minutes. And here's what Brown had to say about that situation. It kind of caught up with them in 2016. And from that point on, that's when Steve Kerr was like, I'm not going to chase it anymore. If we get it, we get it. But I got to make sure Steph Curry, if we want him to only play 35 minutes or average 35 minutes a game, then that's what he's going to average. Basically meaning if we're winning the game or losing the game, and at that time Steph Curry has already played 35 minutes, we are going to live with the results. We're not going to chase victories because we understand at the end of the day, it's about the postseason. There is no official word yet on where Brown wants the Knicks starters to land on minutes per game. But it's a safe bet it'll be fewer than last season. With a thinner bench and Thibodeau in charge, New York's starting five led the NBA in combined minutes by a wide margin. Each averaged at least 35, while Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges eclipsed 37 minutes. Say what you want to say. I know a lot of Knicks players take pride in being out there for the team, playing as many minutes as they need to in order for the team to win. However, if you're thinking about winning long-term, winning in the postseason, that is not a recipe for success. Even Josh Hart recently spoke about it. When you play that many minutes during the course of a regular season, in the postseason, it catches up with you. And maybe, it's probably not the only reason, but maybe it was one of the reasons why the Knicks lost against the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Shout out to Steph Bondi from the New York Post once again for giving us this updated information. According to him, was it a detriment to their playoff success for the New York Knicks to play their players so many minutes during the regular season? It's hard to reach that conclusion after the Knicks upset the Celtics and advanced to the franchise's first conference finals since 2000. But there was a noticeable physical deflation against the Pacers and an acknowledgement Tuesday from one important player that was utterly drained, and that was Josh Hart. According to Hart, it was one of those things where I gave everything I have and I just didn't have anything left in the tank. My mind was there, but my body was a step slow. Mike Brown also mentions his important role in understanding the players and how many minutes that they're playing, leaning on his past experience with the Warriors. According to Brown, I have to help too. That's one when I was fortunate, blessed, and lucky to be in back-to-back finals. Go a couple of times where you had long seasons and you feel that the next season is right there on you. Last season, I pleaded, I begged, I prayed, I wanted the minutes to go more toward the bench at times. And finally, under Mike Brown, that is going to happen. Now, I don't know how many minutes the starters are going to play. If I had to guess, it's going to be anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes a night. It's all going to depend on the game and the flow of the game. If the Knicks are blowing out the team, the starters are maybe playing 25 plus minutes. If it's a very tough game, maybe 30 minutes. But the bench, they will play. And I'm not talking about one bench player, two bench players. I'm talking about a fully loaded bench, ready and willing to play. And they're going to play. I don't know how many minutes the bench unit is going to see, but they're going to see a lot more minutes this season than they saw last season. Shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this latest information and these updated odds on who's going to be the rebound leader per game this season. And as you can see here, Domantas Sabonis with the Kings is the clear runaway favorite to win this award. Right behind him, you have Joker at plus 360. Then you have Walker Kessler at plus 700. Then you have Zubac at plus 1,000. Yes, you see him right there. Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks own, at plus 1,002. And then you have Giannis Antetokounmpo rounding out this list at plus 1,400. Now, obviously, Sabonis, he is far and away the likely player that is going to win this. But Karl Anthony Towns, even if it's a small chance, it's still a chance that he's going to be a top leader in rebounds this season, if not the leader in rebounds this season. It all depends on Mike Brown and how he's going to use Cat. But as we already know, Karl Anthony Towns and his role on this Knicks team, it is going to change significantly. And that goes back to Mike Brown. And that goes back to one thing I love about our new head coach. And he hasn't even coached one game yet. Not even a preseason game yet. He is saying all the right things, doing all the right things, and making the changes we've always wanted to see. Everybody wanted the starters to play less minutes. Now we're going to see that. Everybody wanted to see the young Knick players used more. We're going to see that. Everybody wanted the bench to be used more. This season, we're going to see that. Mike Brown doesn't have to coach one game for me or the entirety of New York to be excited about this Knicks team and what we're going to see this season. It's clear we are going to see differences. We are going to see changes, and we are going to see things that we could only have hoped for before come to reality this year. But what about you guys? What do you think about Mike Brown and him changing the Knicks minutes distribution? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.